Hi and welcome to another week. So thank you for joining me. Today, as promised, I've got a remedy for you, and this is one of my best seasonal remedies for cough, cold, and even some viral symptoms. So if you're getting sweats, chills, or perhaps you're feeling really fatigued with muscle pain, this is a great remedy, and it's really good for things like sore throats as well. And it gets your energy back. Now here are some great ingredients that I've got. And just to show you, what I have here is some hibiscus, which is just the dried leaves itself. I've got about 15 grams here because I'm going to make like 1 cup serving. But you can actually do a couple of cups with this that I'm going to show you today. I've got a really generous knob of ginger there and turmeric. You can use about half of that for a cup, but I'm going to make about 2 cup servings, and I like mine quite strong. And you can use half a lime. I've got key lime, and I get mine, which are Egyptian lime, and I like mine with the seed as organic as possible for all the nutritional benefits. I've got some cayenne pepper for high antioxidant activity, black pepper, which is great for the absorption of our turmeric here, and you only need a pinch. And I've got some coconut water. I mean, it's not highly essential that you have the coconut water, but what I find is it's good for the extra minerals and hydration and electrolytes when you're recovering, or for the prevention of your coughs and colds to help boost your immune system. And we're going to use some water. I've got a couple of teacups of water, and just probably just a little over, because we're going to be boiling the water. And over here, I've got in a brown paper bag some dried some dried sage. And that's going to be really good for really cutting that sore throat that you're getting. We don't need all of that, but I tend to have my sage on hand. When you buy it fresh, you can just pop it into a brown bag like this, leave it to dry out as I've done. And to make this remedy, you really only need just a small handful of the sage, okay, to make 1 cup of this, or 2 cups of this remedy. If you're using fresh sage, I'd say use about 2 or 3 leaves of the sage, and that'll be more than sufficient for a remedy like this. Right, so let's get started. So with, first of all, boiling our water. I'm going to just put this over here on the hob, turn up the gas. Oops, what's happened here? Let me just set this gas properly so that we can get this going. This is a live show, folks, so anything can happen. Right, let's get this going. Right, so we've got the gas on. I'm going to put in our water. So I've got a couple of cups and a half there, teacups that is, and I'm going to cover it so that that starts to come to a boil. Now, whilst that is coming to a boil, we're going to break and chop our turmeric and ginger. So let me just move some of these ingredients out of the way. Here's the turmeric. I'm just going to use the knife, like the flat end of the knife like that, and just crush it. And then just finally start chopping it like this. just roughly chop it up. Give it a crush before you chop it, just to release its properties. That's our ginger. And these are going to go straight into the pot once it's started to boil. And we want to give that approximately 10 minutes. So that's nicely infused in the water. And it's releasing all those great benefits. Now, as you might have watched last week, I spoke about what I've been doing the week before and last week in terms of me embarking on a clinical role where I'm working as a care assistant, and I want to gain some experience and actually have some hands-on experience on a clinical side. I've worked in mental health, but that's been mainly on the senior admin side and site support management, and now I want to go into my journey to become a doctor. This is starting on the bottom rung in terms of just gaining some experience working hands-on with people. And I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues, and she's 29 years old. Now, she was saying that she's getting joint pain, she's feeling really tired, and she seems to be prone to anything going, cough, colds, flu, you name it. And that's because her immune system's quite low, and there may be some deficiencies there, and it has a lot to do with her diet, and she admits her diet isn't the best and that she's ready to start improving that. And she works long hours as we do. We do 12-hour shifts. We can be working from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening, or 8 in the, from 8 at night till the next morning. And so, you're indoors for the long length of time, you're exerting yourself, a lot of energy, you're not getting contact with vitamin D from the sun. And if you're not eating well enough, of course, your body is going to, feel that, and you can actually experience some deficiencies as well and become quite ill and prone to everything going under the sun. So it's important to really have these kind of remedies to hand. Every household should have something like this, but of course, improve your diet and make sure that you're getting the adequate amount of vitamins and minerals. Make sure you're having your supplementation this time of the year. So important, guys. You need to have your D3, your magnesium and your zinc, because your D3 is going to be your defense mechanism. We need that as an essential hormone. The magnesium enhances the benefit of your D3, and your zinc is your guardian fighter to your immune system. Right, so let's have a look at this pot, because I think we've got it boiling now. So here it is boiling away. I'm just going to turn it down slightly. And we're going to put in our turmeric and ginger, first of all, to start with. I'm going to leave that on a simmer, on a medium heat, for approximately 10 minutes. All right? That's a bit too low. Let's turn that back up again. So you just want it on a rolling boil like this. You just want it on a medium heat and have it on a rolling boil like that, okay? And just make sure that you just cover that to keep the steam in, keep in all the properties. So as I was saying, it's important that you have these remedies to hand at home, because if you start to get ill, you want something that's going to help with the symptoms. Your doctor will tell you as well. You know, stay at home, um, use your natural remedies, lemon, ginger, whatever you have to hand. Something like this is excellent. Always have your hibiscus and your lime, um, your cayenne pepper and pepper. These are things that you have at hand in your kitchen. It's not essential that you have the coconut, but if you have fresh coconut, use fresh coconut. If you can't, use carton coconut. But if you have some of these essential things at home and you've already got them to hand, these are things that you can just go to in an instant and use them. So make sure that you've got these at home ready. I use a black pepper, which is organic, from a company called Hatton Hill. And I get my hibiscus from the West Africa, and you can also get it places like Jamaica, but it's available in the UK online. You can go online and get it. You can go to carolsorganickitchen.com. I have it there. My clients get 50% off everything in my shop. That includes all my skincare, all my herbal remedies, all my teas. And lime, you can just get ordinary lime from your local supermarket. If you can get it organic, that's even better, because of course you're going to get the total minerals, vitamins and all the benefits if you're getting at least seeded. Okay, and I like to use key lime. These Egyptian limes have the seed. They're quite a nice sweet lime as well. And you only need 1/2 for a cup. If you're using an ordinary lemon, you can just use a 1/4 lemon and squeeze that in at the end. Again, like I said, your cayenne pepper, full of your antioxidant activity. It also kind of gives a little bit of strength to your remedy as well. You really feel it in a good way going down, and you only need a pinch of black pepper. So this is in no way a spicy remedy. And then of course you've got your wonderful sage. Have a few sage, fresh sage at home. You can get it in abundance now, it's the season. Or have a little pot that you have at home that you can grow. But you can prolong it by just drying it out in a brown bag like I've done here, and keep that ready for when you need it on hand. And then you can also use it in your soups and your stews, because this time of the year we're going to want some more sort of warmer foods. So that's great, which you can put rosemary in your soups, and thyme is a great remedy for respiratory issues, if you didn't know, because it arrests the symptoms, particularly if you have, you know, an offset of asthma and you can feel it coming on. Boil, I've always advised fresh or dried organic thyme, and make sure that you steep it for about 3 to 5 minutes after just bringing it to a little boil, and cool it and drink it warm, and it will help to arrest the symptoms. I remember a few years back when I used to suffer with asthma terribly, and I had to visit my doctor the next day, and it was the middle of the night and I was really wheezing. I didn't have an inhaler. I certainly wasn't I didn't have a preventer, so it had built up and it had got worse. And I remembered thyme being a good remedy for arresting the symptoms of asthma, respiratory issues. So I made a tea, and once I had that, it was at least probably 2 to 3 minutes. I felt so much better. I really felt I wasn't going to make it through the night. I mean, I've literally been in ambulances minutes before it's come and thought, am I going to make it? That's how bad my asthma used to be. But I eat in a way where I'm having anti-inflammatory foods, which really help my lungs. And I also have another remedy using guaco, which I showed in my natural workshops video. as a remedy to those who are part of my subscription, in terms of understanding how to look after yourself and manage, you know, minor ailments for you and your family. Guaco is a great herb as well for respiratory issues. So is mullein as well. And with guaco, you can either drink it, but I like to also steam with it, which is really good, and it works quite effectively over 2-3 days. You feel the improvement of your lungs, you know, calming down, the tightness going. So if you're interested in herbal remedies, have a look on carolsorganickitchen.com. Have a look there. You'll see things like tea blends of nettle, clove and cinnamon, high antioxidant activity. Nettle is abundant in minerals. It's overlooked as a fantastic herb, green herb, and that blend is particularly good with the clove and the cinnamon because of the high antioxidant activity, and also it's great for respiratory, and it tastes fantastic as a blend. There are other herbs on there like blue vervain as well. And excuse me, that's my phone going off in the background. And that is great in terms of people suffering with low to moderate mood, in terms of mild to moderate depression and anxiety. So there's lots of different types of remedies that you can go to, especially this time of the year. People's moods dip and fall, and I find that blue vervain is really good, especially if I am running out of energy. And of course, one of the best things that I always recommend is Iris sea moss. So have a look on Carol's Organic Kitchen, read up about Iris sea moss with those wonderful 92 minerals, which consist of the minerals that we have. Our bodies comprise of 102 of them, and sea moss meets 92. Right, so let's go over here. Now, it's now boiling up. You can see the water changing. So let's say that's about 10 minutes that we've done here. Okay, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to bring this over here. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it here. Let us just put the sage in, okay? We're going to put the sage in. And with the sage leaves, I'm going to add in the hibiscus. We're going to put in our pinch, just a pinch, to help with the absorption of the turmeric, because the turmeric and the turmeric and the black pepper contain two different substances. Turmeric contains curcumin, and black pepper has its own substance which actually enhances the power and absorption of the turmeric. And then we've got our just a pinch of cayenne pepper as well, those wonderful antioxidants. And the hibiscus is very high in vitamin C, and it tastes amazing. It's got a lovely berry flavour. It can be quite tart if you have it strong. And for those who like their beverages a little bit sweeter, I'd always say, you know, add something like yak on, especially if you are diabetic. Because by adding yak on, you're not spiking your blood sugar. It's a root vegetable that's low on the glycemic index, it's low in the carb, and it's zero. It's almost zero in carbs, and it doesn't spike your blood sugar. Otherwise, there's things like agave syrup, which may not be so good for diabetics, but if it's an alternative for you, if you're trying to cut down on sugar, I tend to use yak on now these days. And you can also, you know, use maple syrup. to sweeten your tea if you wish. So let's go back to this pot and have a look. You can see it's changing colour. It's got this lovely berry colour to it. And you really want to leave that steeping for about 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm just going to give that another couple minutes there. Before we put our tea together. So let me just get some of these things out of the way. Now, if you are prone to everything going, your immune system isn't so strong, and you really want to improve your well-being so that you can strengthen your immune system and you're not going to be prone to all the cough, colds, flu, viruses going on this winter. Or maybe you have another health goal. Go to carolfraser.co.uk and have a look there and arrange a discovery call with me. Let's have a chat and see how we may best work together to help support you with your well-being. Right, so let's go back to the pot. Just leave that for another minute, I think. And then I've just forgotten one thing, which is a sieve, of course, to strain our tea. So let me go in my kitchen to get that. So I've got my tea strainer. So let's say that's about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, you can see that lovely red colour there. Now we're just going to strain the tea. It smells really beautiful. Look at that lovely rich colour. I don't know if you can see it underneath this camera as I'm pouring it. But you've got this lovely rich colour going on from the hibiscus, and it's such a delicious tea as well. So children will enjoy this as well. Now I'm going to get my coconut and I'm just going to add a little bit of coconut water to it, and then I'm going to squeeze in my lime. Quite a bit of juice coming out of there, which is great. Lovely. Let's give it a stir. Now, look at this. You can make another cup out of that. You may even be able to stretch that to 3, but the third one will be a bit weaker. But that will give you another cup. And there we have it. We have our delicious cold flu virus buster. That's delicious. And if you had a sore throat, you would really feel the soothing benefits of this tea. And that's it, folks. Have your remedies on hand this winter. Look after yourself and stay well. And I'll be back with more health tips and information to help you along your healthy living journey. Thank you for watching.